I'm Jessica Saltz. I came up from Las Vegas to speak in person. I think I'm going to miss my flight, actually, but that's okay. There are greater causes at stake. So in 1984, we've been over this, the study of dyslexia and other specific learning disabilities was conducted by a state committee. The committee essentially recommended everything AB 341 entails. The committee requested reading remediation for dyslexics by people who have been appropriately trained, that teachers receive in-service training in the field of dyslexia for early identification, and it suggested that partnerships be created between parents and educators. In other words, the committee recommended a team atmosphere between parents and educators in support of the child. The study was ignored because a handful of people did not believe dyslexia was real. Fortunately, we now have the scientific facts to prove it is real through well-documented studies and the imagery of MRI brain scans. According to Dr. Sally Shaywitz of the Yale Center for Dyslexia and Creativity, 20% of the human population is dyslexic, while MIT will give you a figure that's more in the range of about 10%. And this is because different schools of thought define dyslexia differently. But the number isn't quite as important as the fact that MRIs actually show the difference in brain activities between a dyslexic and non-dyslexic brain. This proves that dyslexia is real, and it is something to contend with. Even with universities like Yale and MIT coming forward and stating that, yes, dyslexia literally stems from brain differences in structuring and organization, dyslexic children are still told to try harder and do better. Dyslexia is as real as any other neurological learning difference or disorder. To insinuate that a child only fails because he or she doesn't try hard enough, to insinuate that a dyslexic child only fails because he or she doesn't try hard enough, says more about the ignorance of the adults making the accusations than of the children who are being accused. To hold children accountable for a difference in brain functioning, something that nobody has control over, is a form of discrimination. I dare you to try and think of any other neurological learning difference which has been proven by science, in which children as young as 5 or 6 years old are told that the only thing that's holding them back is they're not trying hard enough. Some school superintendents state federal money cannot be used to treat dyslexic children, but dyslexia is federally recognized by the Federal Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, IDEA, the Americans with Disabilities Act in their ADAA, their amendment, and the Congressional Dyslexia Caucus. And even Nevada state law defines a specific learning disability as a disorder in which one or more of the basic psychological processes involved in understanding or using spoken or written language, and it mentions dyslexia as a specific example. Yet why don't school officials feel obligated to provide reading remediation to dyslexics in the same way they'd have to provide educational remediation to any other child with a learning disability? The answer lies in the fact that there is no specific state law requiring any such remediation. AB 341 levels the playing field for dyslexic children. When we talk about dyslexia, we're not talking about flipping letters. We're talking about children who can't even remember what a letter looks like. Children who can't even remember what a letter sounds like. Kids who can remember things one day and the next it was like they've never seen it before. The state can't make the same mistake it made in 1984 and ignore dyslexia any longer. The 2013 reading report card by the National Center for Education Statistics found that 73% of Nevada's fourth graders read below grade level. With the governor's Read by 3 initiative taking off, this is the perfect time to approve this bill and drive that number down. Thank you.